Okay, this is the main reason, because among the various possibilities to pass Okay, among the various routes that we have to renew our energy and passing from a polluting and not very much efficient way like today, that we're using oil for producing our energy, hydrogen is one of the expected alternatives. Why is that? Because this is very appealing, as a matter of fact, because we can start from water, because hydrogen is not a resource. We cannot dig into the ground and find hydrogen as we do for oil. So hydrogen is something that we have to produce, and of course you know very well that hydrogen is a part of water. So we can start from water, and somehow they will see decompose water and form hydrogen, and then hydrogen can be used for many applications. You can see maybe automobile, residential, factories, and the most important thing that when we use hydrogen to prepare to form energy, we form water again. So this cycle is very appealing, because we use an element which is abundant in the world. Every country has water, so there will be any political involvement as we have now with the Arab countries or with generally the country who produce oil. And we don't pollute anything, and we don't destroy anything like we do with oil, because when we use oil for energy, we burn oil, so we destroy it. But, of course, there are some problems here, and you see that the first thing we have to produce hydrogen, then eventually to store, and then to reconvert. The part that we are interested in is this part here, because the reconversion requires some operation, and fuel cell can do that. So I did summarize the reason why we are so interested in hydrogen, because, as I say, this can give us a energy source diversification, and we can use for this coal or renewable energy as some producing hydrogen, as we will see. Of course, hydrogen can be considered as energy carrier for traditional and innovative energy sources. That means that we can use hydrogen for producing light, or also for driving an electric car. Of course, hydrogen is much more clean, green than oil, as we, namely fossil hydrocarbons. These are oil and coal. And of course, it can be used in transportation, as we will see. But, however, as I say, hydrogen is not a resource. We don't find hydrogen in the world. We have to produce it. This is the first problem. What this says? Doesn't go anymore. What do you say? Something wrong? No? The center of what? Here? Okay. Okay, so we have to produce hydrogen, and for doing that we have to decompose water, for instance. But you see, hydrogen likes to be in water. This is most stable situation. So to decompose water in hydrogen and oxygen, we have to provide some energy. And this energy can be maybe used from some renewable energy like wind or solar. And this is this is a good way. We can also use oil, I mean petrol, but this is not a very good way, because if we burn oil to produce energy to decompose water, we have still the same problem that we usually have with oil energy sources. Because when we burn oil, we always produce CO2. And this is not very good for the environment. The best way, to my opinion, to produce hydrogen is from electrolysis of water. Right? So we can can take a cell, electrochemical cell. Here we have water, okay? And here we have one electrode. Here another electrode. So we call this one E1 or E2. And we have to we need some energy to drive this electrochemical process, and then to produce oxygen here and hydrogen here. Now the voltage which is necessary to produce this reaction is 123, theoretical. But then it may become much higher for some problems that we will see pretty soon. So to have a voltage which is not too high, or not too higher than this one, we must use some particular electrodes, which unfortunately are based on platinum. So the first problem of this way is cost. Then the other problem is how to produce this voltage, okay? And we can do that maybe using oil, but it's not very nice. The best way would be to do that using, for instance, sun. But the voltage of a solar cell is about 0.6. So if one makes some calculation, you will see that the energy efficiency using solar is not that high. So we don't have very much possibilities to use so far photovoltaics for producing hydrogen. Now you will see here the various ways that we can produce this energy. For instance, we can use geothermal energy. You see, there are some volcano or other very volcanic countries where they have hot water. I think Japan has a lot of hot water. Also Korea has a lot of water, I think. There are some places here where I understand where you can go have a hot bath. And this can be used, and this is okay, because it's a natural energy. Then solar, wind, photovoltaic. This is not photovoltaic. This is a thermal solar. So we can use the heat produced by sun to form the voltage. Then we can use the photovoltaic, the one that I discussed you before. Hydroelectric, there are some way you can produce electricity when you have a lot of rivers and waterfalls, and you can use the falls for producing energy. This is okay too. And of course, you can use the excess of energy. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this fact, but in every country, included Korea, there are some period of the day where there is a lot of request of energy, for instance, during the daytime. But then this request of energy goes down during the night. Not so much in Korea because you work too much. You work until 11, I understand. But most people, they don't. So during the night, there is no high request of energy. So this excess of energy that can be used for this type of applications. And this will be used to produce hydrogen by electrolysis, according to the scheme that I show you there. But other ways are this one, that are maybe using the reforming of hydrocarbons, reforming of coal, which is not very good for in terms of environment. Now, you can use biofuels and biomass gasifier, which are good. And then all this energy, so hydrogen, so produced, they can be used for transportation, for instance, or other type of utilization. So, to summarize, the hydrogen cycle requires the accomplishment of three main steps. The first one is production, and I just summarize what I said before. We can have reforming of hydrocarbons, gasification of coal, and electrolysis. Of course, the issues here are, in the first case, here, emission of CO2, and in this case, it's cost. But we will not discuss about this further. Then, of course, you have another problem is storage. Because suppose that you want to use hydrogen in a car. We will see that that is possible. But in this car, we use hydrogen as now we use benzene, oil. So the way of transportation of our energy in the car now is the volume is to store some gas, oil, when you go to the gas station. And usually it's not very big. Now you have to do the same thing with hydrogen. So hydrogen is a gas. So you cannot really use a big tank of hydrogen. So you have to find some alternative way of storage. And in fact, the most immediate way of storing gas is by tanks, but it's not applicable in some way. And there are some other ways, some other direction where to storage hydrogen, which are nanostructured carbons or metal alloys. I won't go into detail on this either, but just to summarize, of course, the issues here are the cost, this costs a lot, and poor efficiency. And this also gives you some safety problem, a big tank into the car.